Now, of course, the artistic representations of them, these are like from Lord of the Rings, those wreath rays or whatever they're called. But we have some powerful beings we know about. Lucifer, you know about him. He's talked about twice. I think it's in the final exam. Lucifer, I think in one of the matchings, it'll say the origin of Lucifer, and it'll say Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28. So some of you need to remember that, those of you that really like to do well in your exams. And so we know about where Lucifer came from. Lucifer is a cherub. He's an anointed cherub. He was the highest cherub. Lucifer was the beginning of all God's angelic creations. He was the greatest, the most powerful angel, the most brilliant and supernaturally powerful creature God ever made. And he was called Lucifer, the son of the morning. Do you know what he did? He had a job. He was the worship director of heaven. It says that when you read it in Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28. And it says he walked up the flaming stones up to the very mountain of God. And it says that he was the covering cherub. It's almost like God had this, when you see Middle Eastern royalty, they're sitting on the throne and someone's holding this kind of like shade over them. It's the same concept that Lucifer's wings as a cherub were like, if this is God's throne, he was like this and was reflecting all the praise and glory at God back down on God. So here he is like this, observing God in all his glory. And Isaiah 14 says, he started thinking and says within himself, Isaiah 14, I'll read it to you, it's horrible. Isaiah 14. How you are fallen from heaven, verse 12 of Isaiah 14. O Lucifer, son of the morning, how you are cut to the ground. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. That's the other angels. I will sit on the mount of congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's one of the greatest proofs of inspiration in the Bible I've ever read. I will be like. If I was writing the Bible about the chief enemy of God, I would say, I'm going to be greater than God. Lucifer knew. He was smart. No one could be greater than God. God is self-existent. Nothing else is self-existent. Everything else in our universe is created. Only God is self-existent. He is self-sufficient, self-existent. He doesn't need support to keep going. Food. He doesn't need energy. He is the source of everything. Lucifer knew that. All he wanted to do when he fell is just be on the same par as God, getting the worship. He knew he couldn't be greater than God, but he fell when he thought that within himself. Now, if I was going to explain, if one of you asked me, how did Lucifer fall? What I used to do as a youth pastor is I would take my pen. I always had a pen here, but who has a pen nowadays? And I would put it on my hand, and I'd say, in here, I'll try and hold my phone. See my phone? My phone is staying up. But how is my phone staying up? I'm holding it. If I let go, it falls. See? You say, that's dumb. Yeah, but it's an illustration. Lucifer was held by God. And God let go of him for a moment. And what did he do? He fell because he's not able. None of us can keep ourselves righteous. See, that's the need of grace. That's the need of God. We are unable to do anything that pleases him in our own strength. And so as long as he held on to Lucifer, Lucifer was glorifying and obeying him. And God let go of him for a second. You said, does God ever do that other times? Yeah. Oh, you got to. When you read the Bible through, like I have over and over again, look at all the times it says that God stepped back. Like, for example, Hezekiah. God blessed Hezekiah completely. But when the Babylonian envoys came, it says that the Lord removed his holding on to Hezekiah, and he just watched him for a minute. And what did Hezekiah do? He got so proud, he showed off all that God had done, but he told him he did it. All of his wealth, all of his treasures, all of his conquests, and his pride is what prompted Babylonians coming and capturing Israel. And it's all the way through. God pulls back to show them. In the wilderness wandering, he did that to the Israelites. He pulled back. Psalm 105 and 6 says, so he could reveal what was in their hearts. So God pulls back, Lucifer shows his stuff, and the real alien invaders start.